Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
June, it brings triple digits to the Valley, and it is the official start of summer. So today on CityCast Las Vegas, we're back with all the best ways to spend your month. I'm joined by Michael M.J. Lyle from the Nevada Current and my co-host Sarah Lohman, and they're bringing the best insider tips for your June eats, events, and experiences. It's Thursday, May 29th. I'm David Figler, and here's what Las Vegas is talking about. Sarah and MJ, thanks for joining me for the June guide to Las Vegas.
Hey, thanks for having me. And thanks for having me for something fun, so I don't have to talk about it.
I mean, usually, MJ, you cover some really heavy, deep stuff for Nevada Current, which is so important, but it's fun to bring out the fun side of you, too.
I know. I'm a full person.
MJ's a real dude about town, you know?
Well, he loves to party. I mean, both of us have seen him out in the wilds.
That's
but
true.
at, like, the writer's block.
Okay, that's a party. Thank
Not
you.
like doing bumps in a bathroom.
Well, I'm not going to out anyone. All right, so let's just get into the general vibes. That's the main thing, right? Because June, it hits a little different here in Vegas. So how are y'all dealing with the triple-digit heat and all the other things that come with June in the city?
I feel like I need help with this, honestly, because although we are moving into my 4th summer in Vegas, I tend to travel. I tend to leave like a bad girl.
Well, no, you do what locals do.
Leave. So that's it. But that's not happening this summer. This summer, I've got a book manuscript due in September. So I am here. I am writing. So I really feel like I need some advice from the two of you on how to deal.
You know, I find out when I'm writing, I like to get away too. So
yeah.
Well, so this is Sarah's get shit done while it's on fire outside. What should I be doing?
Okay.
I think our bodies just naturally adjust. Our thin blood becomes a little thinner. We become nocturnal creatures, even though it's still over 100 at nighttime.
Becoming an inside kitty, like sometimes wears on me a little bit over the summer.
I can say I do not adjust. I just kind of go through it, and I go through it with like good vibes. And I definitely never adjusted from born and mostly raised here. Summer always makes me angry just with how hot it is, but there are cool things to do in the city despite. And so, I'm all about vibes. So whatever keeps my vibes right.
There are plenty of places to go nearby where you can escape the heat, Sarah, where you could bring your notebooks and your computer or whatever. I mean, I love going up to Ely during this time. That's kind of my general vibe, is like find my fun rurals with a little bit of cooler temperatures. And, when I go up to Ely, there's plenty to do. I just wrote about it for Desert Companion. It was a fun piece. The cool old hotels and bowling alleys and the fun little restaurants. There's one restaurant, JT's, that is ranch to table, which I'm dying to check out. And I love going up to the train museum up there where you could actually go up on a train and do the sunset train trips and stuff like that.
Cute.
It's
That's
really
cool.
bucolic, and it's on average about 20 degrees cooler up there.
So your
Their
advice
average
is
June
leave.
temperature is like 80. So yeah, you're really close to Great Basin National Park, so you could go check that out as well, and the caves and all that stuff. I mean, trust me, if you need to just kind of get away, Sarah, for just a weekend where it's cooler temperatures and you could be isolated but also have some fun things to inspire you, that's one of the things I love doing. Small town Nevada, and that's a good one.
That is a good one. That's a great recommendation.
All right. So, I like getting into the experiences of the month too. So what are a couple things that we should do or buy or go to this month?
It is Pride Month also. And so one of the things I like to do when it comes to Pride Month, I do this year round, but in particular in Pride Month, is revisit or check out new queer literature and media. I'll go and revisit some of my favorite books, but also I'll go check out new movies or rewatch movies that I love that talk about the queer experience. And if you're looking for something to escape the heat, you could do both. But I also go to the Beverly. They're actually doing a Celebrate Pride and having a couple movies that I hope to go check out that kind of goes with this vibe of wanting to dive into the queer experience and celebrate Pride. Portrait of a Lady on Fire is playing in June, which I haven't seen. It's a French film.
Neither.
And also like a classic, a cult classic, but I'm a Cheerleader is also playing this June too for their Celebrate Pride series. And so I love the Beverly. I love checking out their films and stuff. And I love queer media. And so this kind of hits the two and both.
And we all love baby Natasha Lyonne, who's in the Cheerleader movie.
A queer icon, despite not being gay, but is a queer icon.
Going to the Beverly is such a my AC is out move, you know? Like ice cold movie theater, love it every time.
They have no doubt the best popcorn I have ever had in a movie. Like that's like my number one advice for going to the Beverly.
Because it's just made by some surly teens.
Good. It's so good. It is so absolutely good. It's addicting.
Is that funny? It really is good popcorn. And they have a little cart. It's very old school. And they bring it into the movie theater itself. It's charming.
I make my stomach hurt by how much I eat because it is so good and I cannot stop.
It's good popcorn, even if the seats aren't the most comfortable in Las Vegas. But that said, they have great programming, so I'm willing to give it up a little bit. All right, Sarah, what are your experiences?
Well, speaking of escaping, I really do like going camping up on Mount Charleston because, you know, for me, it's about an hour and 15 minutes. For some of y'all, it's closer. But that is one of the things that I think really astounds people from outside Las Vegas, that we've got this little bit of Northern California just outside the city limits. I love going camping up there. Actually, when I am in the middle of a big writing project, because there's no cell service. So, you know, I tell the important people, I tell someone where I am and when I'll be back. But when I go up there, it's like, especially if I'm reading a really dense, boring book for research, I make myself so bored that I have nothing else to do rather than read this book. But it's also heaven. Like, I camp in my hatchback, so I just pull into one of the drive-up spots up there. I've got my mattress at the back of my hatchback. I just lay in there, get a cool breeze, read my boring book, and then the work gets done. And it really is like, if it's 100 down here, it's like 65 up there at night. It's absolute heaven.
How long do you stay out there?
I'll just go for a night, honestly.
Okay,
and
so
you know
you're
what?
Not like hitting the trails and doing all that too. Because not all the trails are open up again, but most of them are.
Not all of them. There's still like Upper Bristlecone is not open. There's still some areas that need improvement. They did open some new trails. All the campsites are open. I have two, I think, important pieces of advice if you're thinking of going up there, though.
Yeah, I like the advice just because, you know, I'm not always good. I always have a good time, but I'm not always in the right mental state before I get up there. And it tends to work out because I go with people who know what they're doing. So what is your best tip?
Okay, so my very best tip is bring your own hand soap, because the bathrooms at the campsites, although there are bathrooms, do not have hand soap dispensers.
They are very sporadic. I've seen it in there and I've not seen it in there.
Yeah. Because just like generous campers leave it in there, leave their bottle at Dial or whatever. So always make sure you bring your own hand soap and you bring like some squeezy hand sanitizer. The other is just don't touch the horses. Because as of last summer, some horses have moved up there, which is sort of unusual to have them at that elevation. And they will be in and around the campsite. So both don't try to touch or feed them because it's illegal to do so, but also don't try to touch and feed them because they are wild horses and they do kick. And there have been some incidences.
Oh, no.
So they will mind their own business if you mind your own business. And that is a lovely way to interact and not interact with those horses.
Is this a good place for a camping virgin like myself?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
It's easy.
Yeah, it's so close,
MJ.
to
town.
And you're not like hiking away from your car, like you're pulling your car right up to the spot, you know. And like I said, I'd actually put a mattress in my hatchback, and that's what I prefer to do. You know, there's facilities, there's running water, and if you decide you hate it, you just drive back down to the city.
Okay.
I should mention that I often camp at McWilliams. That's my favorite. And the odd sites are reservable online through something.gov. Just give McWilliams campsite a search. It'll come up. There's a nice app that they have to help you book the sites. The even sites are first come, first serve. And I actually have to say the even sites are often the more beautiful and somewhat like cozily isolated ones, but they can be really hard to get, especially on a weekend. So if you're going on a Friday or Saturday, definitely make that reservation. There's even waiting lists if it's filled up, but you can always risk heading up there right at 3 p.m. Or honestly, I've gotten there at like 2 and they're letting people in already to get those first come, first serve sites.
Yeah, you gotta, nice. It's all about timing. I've learned that in first come, first serve, because some people are real shitty about it too. Like they stock their spots and they're not going to let you get there no matter what.
What are you doing, David?
Well, I am looking forward, and this is just the dork in me. I am 100% looking forward to the Weird Al Yankovic residency at the Venetian.
Oh, residency! I didn't realize. I hear he's a hell of a performer. He gives it his all.
And he's doing 6 shows
at
the Venetian. But his opening act is a friend of mine who is brilliant as well, who has played in Las Vegas and had his own residency at one point. His name is Puddle's Pity Party. He is a 7-foot clown with a golden voice.
Did you say 7 foot?
Yeah, he's 7 feet tall.
Wow.
He's a 7-foot clown with a golden voice.
Yeah, he doesn't talk, he just sings. It's just wonderful listening to him. And plus his shows are really good. And on being on such a big stage with Weird Al, and he's been performing with Weird Al and other big performers for a while now. He did have a residency at Caesar's Palace, and he performed in the old Cleopatra's Barge space, which is now a caviar bar. Speakeasy, yeah, whatever. It was so fun. Sometimes he has famous friends and he calls them up on stage. One time he called me up on stage and I sang Under Pressure with him. It was just a blast. So I don't know how personal it's going to be, but he is a hoot.
Yeah.
And of course, Weird Al is just the consummate performer.
What are the dates, David? What are the dates on that?
The residency starts on June 13th. So it's June 13th, 14th, 15th, 18th, 20th, and 21st at the Venetian Theater. So it should be a great time. I'm really looking forward to it, and I can't wait to see Puddles.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
Ah, Smart Water Alkaline with antioxidant.
Whoa, that's refreshing.
And a 9.5 plus pH for every way you move.
I did take a Spain class today.
Restoring like a pro. Smart Water Alkaline with antioxidant. For those with a taste for taste. Grab yours today.
All right. Well, speaking of seeing Puddles, because he and I always go for our coffees, what kind of food and beverages are up on deck for June, y'all?
I just got a quickie. It's just that at the end of May, Winnie and Ethel's is launching dinner with wine and cocktails.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah, so they're, up to this point, they've been like a breakfast, brunch, and lunch restaurant.
And sporadic dinners.
Oh, yeah, and they would do like special, they've done special event dinners, too.
They won the big $1 million diner competition that Jay Dapper had put up.
Yeah, and they've been open for over a year now, and so they're
That's in my neighborhood.
Yeah. And of course, in the same shopping plaza as Yukon Pizza and the Huntridge. There's a lot going on there, and a Savers. So all I know about it is that by the end of May, they're launching dinner, and there'll be cocktails and wine.
That's exciting. They're always so busy and popular, so.
That's very exciting, especially since there is a story out there that 1228 over on Main Street is giving up the ghost on dinner. And they're just going to be breakfast and lunch. Yeah.
I guess I did know they were a dinner spot, but they do seem more breakfasts. That you're pastry-based over there. So I always thought of them as more of a breakfast spot.
Great pastries, so.
Yeah. And right next door, Holstein's is now open to the public.
Yeah.
So that's
I didn't realize they were moving downtown.
Oh, is it? That's the one with all the neon and stuff up front. That's
Yeah,
Holstein's?
it's right directly next to Main Street Provisions. How about you, MJ? What kind of food are you looking to get involved with in June, or restaurants?
Just in time for Friday the 13th, there is actually a horror-themed coffee shop that's going to be opening off Paradise and Harmon called Horror Vibes Coffee. The original is, yes, horror.
Horror. What is it called again? I'm sorry.
Horror Vibes Coffee.
Horror Vibes Coffee.
HORROR. So the original location is in California, but they're opening one here in Vegas just in time for Friday the 13th, which is so exciting. Spooky vibes and spooky drinks all around.
So it's a cafe, it's a coffee shop, it's a little bit of all of it?
Yeah, and so I don't know if it's going to be your type of coffee because it's more like sweet treats and not like... but we'll see. I'm going to go check it out.
Are you calling me a coffee snob? Because that's right on the nose.
Yeah, you said it. So I have some fun names that are horror themed. I'm going to see if you guys can guess what actually are included in these. So
is it foods or is it just bevies this
is beverages.
quiz?
This is beverages.
Okay.
Oh, so we got a little bevy quiz in the middle of the June guide. I love it.
Yes. The first one is Frankenstein's latte.
It's going to be matcha.
Could be matcha. That's smart.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's a matcha latte.
I think it has to be like the components of a lot of different beverages that are mixed and matched together.
That'd be funny.
It's like bubble tea and coffee.
It's a Long Island iced tea of, it's got a little bit of everything, little pieces.
Both good guesses. It's actually a pistachio latte.
Oh.
So the green, yeah.
Okay.
It's actually Frankenstein's Monsters Latte, it should be called.
Right. We gotta get that for the purists.
Just kidding.
Well, maybe it's the latte that Dr. Frankenstein would make. He likes
that. Yes.
Sure.
Mr. Baba Brew, after the Babadook, gay icon.
Okay, well,
Babadook is a gay icon. I have no idea.
We don't have time to get into that. We don't have time to get into that, but yes. But no, it's true.
All right. Well, obviously, it's a skinny latte and it wears a little hat.
I think that there's going to be some boba, some little pearls in there somewhere.
It is a chocolate cherry cafe au lait.
Oh, cafe au lait's nice.
I like the cafe that David and I are building better, honestly.
I know.
Well, the Boba Duke is what I would call it with boba tea. Yeah, see? That's where that was coming from.
One more. Lloyd's Harvest. I believe it's after the Shining's Lloyd character.
Oh.
Lloyd's Harvest. Okay, I'm going to say...
they did the maze. They had the big maze out back that he got frozen. It's going to be a frozen beverage. It's going to be a frozen hot chocolate.
Cute. I think the most memorable scenes from The Shining is the Ocean of Blood. So it's going to be some sort of berry, like deep red berry. But much like the Twin Girls, it's a buy one, get one free deal.
And it comes to you on a remote control big wheel.
I feel like I'm going to disappoint you with this answer. It is a pumpkin pie latte.
Oh,
they need to listen to the show. Sorry to our
producer, Sonia Cho, for me swearing. I got too involved and disappointed.
What the heck? Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, it all sounds lovely. And I know you're a big horror fan. So my guess is it's going to replace in your heart the Nightmare Cafe.
I know. I'm still sad about that. But yes, I'm excited to go check this out, especially, again, Friday the 13th.
Speaking of the Nightmare Cafe, I love Mi Barrio. That's like my favorite new breakfast spot. And it's in the space on Commerce where Nightmare Cafe used to be.
I haven't been there yet.
Oh, it's really, well, I mean, it's not traditional Mexican food. It's certainly, I don't want to say Americanized, hipsterized in a lot of ways, but it was delicious. And they're doing dinner service there now. But where you're going to find me in June is just wandering around the Venetian. And the Venetian does this every now and again. And I know that some people complain about it, but they insert new restaurants all the time. And this current crop looks really interesting to me. So there's too many to mention of new spots. I know that Bizarre Meats is going to be moving over to the Venetian. I don't know if they're going to be open in June or not, but it's one of my favorite spots at the Sahara. And now they're moving over. This is Jose Andres Meat House. But then there's also going to be Nomakai, which is open, which is kind of like street sushi up in the front. And then the further back into the place you go, it's a little fancier. And there's even a speakeasy. Sorry, Sarah.
No.
There's Cote, which is the storied Korean steakhouse. And so that's going to be a little high end. Al Antico Vinayo Did I say that completely wrong? It's a sandwich shop. It's the cool Italian sandwich shop. And then there's also Turkey and the Wolf, which is another sandwich shop. There's even like a fancy donut place there, Donatica. So I am really excited about just wandering around the Venetian and finding one that fits. All right, well, this brings us to like the one, we call it the kicker here, but it's really the kind of like you don't want to miss out on it during June. So what's the can't miss out on it, team? If you had to pick one event that we are making time for this month, what is it? Where will we see you out and about?
Well, in addition to it being Pride, well, it's not Vegas Pride. It's
not. But there are Pride events. But yeah,
Pride is so nice. We celebrate it twice, and I don't mind.
Yes, we had a whole episode about why Pride is in October in Las Vegas
with our Pride president. But it's also Juneteenth is coming up on June 19th. Which is our newest federal holiday, and it celebrates the moment that basically the last enslaved people in America were told that they were free in Galveston, Texas. And so now it is a celebration of Black culture. So like get out there and do some cool stuff. So there are, so first of all, because it's a federal holiday, all of the national parks have free admission that day. Go, but like be kind. The national parks are very short-staffed right now, as we have also talked about with Berta on this podcast. So pick up after yourself, everybody, and be nice to the employees. But in Nevada, all of the state parks are also free. So like get out there. There's so much to do. We've also got 2 big festivals happening in honor of Juneteenth. Henderson is having a party on Water Street on June 19th with lots of food and music. And then the Las Vegas Juneteenth Festival is at the Expo at World Market Las Vegas. And that will be the following weekend after June 19th. And also just like I want to invite you to get out there and support some Black-owned businesses. I actually think that's one of the best ways to celebrate, right? Some of my 2 favorites are Tofu Teas down in Ferguson's, owned by our local Wonderkin, who started that business at like 12 or whatever. And then the Coffee Class, my favorite local coffee shop here in Henderson and now in Summerlin, too.
You love that spot.
I do love that spot. It's just great vibe, incredible pastry, really good food. And they just opened a location up in Summerlin, too. Black-owned business. So those are my recommendations.
Got it.
Those are some great ones.
MJ, what do you got?
I always do check out Restaurant Week during June, just because it is one of the times that I can actually go to a fancy restaurant, know what my budget is like, and kind of explore. And it's one of the few times I actually get to the Strip, because that's some of the restaurants I do want to check out. I am a foodie. I love trying good food, but sometimes I don't have the budget for it. But this has set prices, and I'm able to try some really good cuisine. I think on my list this year, it's actually a revisit to Amalfi, which is Bobby Flay's restaurant at Caesar's Palace, which is delicious in seafood. I'm still dreaming about this branzino I had at Restaurant Week a couple years ago, and so that's why I want to go back. But I've actually never been to STK, a steakhouse at Cosmopolitan, and so I actually want to check that out too.
It's loud, but it's delicious.
It is a part of a fundraiser for 3 Square Food Bank. The proceeds go to that, and so you get
some of the proceeds, a percentage, right? And if you go on the website, they tell you how much they're giving for each meal, so that's really nice too. You know exactly how much is going to be donated to
Absolutely.
Question, MJ, are the Restaurant Week specials just for dinner, or are there lunch specials too?
Good. Yeah, they actually do have not just dinner and lunch, but sometimes some of them have brunch too, and so you can go and actually go through the website and check out which kind of portion you have. So I was looking at originally Momofuku, which has only a lunch selection, but yeah, so it's not just dinners that you can do. You could find also brunch and lunch selections if you want.
I love tasting menu adventure, which is normally what you get with Restaurant Week. And I love, the low prices to go check out restaurants that are otherwise maybe a little out of my day-to-day budget.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I love going on the website and just seeing what restaurants I've really been meaning to check out, because it's a great excuse to do that. And I'm hoping some of those restaurants I mentioned at the Venetian jump on. And that's the thing, too, is that sometimes there are some late ads. So you definitely want to keep checking out that website. And decide to do at least one.
What are you doing, David?
What is your not miss event in June?
So I've got a crazy not miss event. They're all lumped under the umbrella, the Fallout Fringe Festival. So every summer, there's like a small fringe festival that's been in Las Vegas, but this is something a little different. This is a bunch of different theaters kind of coming together and inviting their friends, and just, I can't even start to describe. I'm gonna run down the list of some of the names of some of the events that are going on. This starts on June 2nd and it goes all the way through June 25th. There's a lot of stuff going on at the Vegas Theater Company and the Majestic Theater. The Public Fit Group are doing a bunch of stuff. So there's like Hamlet done by sock puppets. I'm so excited about that one. There's one called Loser Lion Party Bus. There's a production of Legoland. There's one called The Holy Church of Bezos. I could just go on and on and on. There's one called Take Your Shot, Luigi Mangione as a motivational speaker.
Oh, man.
Yeah. There's another one called Knives, Knives, Knives. Friend of the podcast, Matt the Mind Noodler, is doing some shows. So again, it's June 2nd all the way through June 25th. And there's stuff happening almost every day. So you could go onto the website, which is falloutfringe.org, and check out the schedule. My friend Ginger Bruner is like, you cannot miss Carol Montgomery coming back to town to do her one-woman show. So that's definitely one that I'm going to check out. And that's called I Am My Father's Son. And that's going to be over at Cheap Shot. There's going to be some real edgy stuff happening. That's all I'm saying. So
I got that from the Luigi Mangione.
Yeah, well, Test Market is involved in that too. So, whenever Test Market is doing stuff, that's a local-based or a Vegas-based theater company that does some really outside-the-box improv stuff. Well, June is definitely shaped up to be a fun month inside and out. Sarah and MJ, thanks for joining us on the June Guide.
Thanks, David.
Thanks for having me.
And that's all for today here on CityCast Las Vegas. If you enjoyed the show, go tell a friend. You could share some of our picks for June. You could also rate our show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our morning newsletter. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Till then, stay lucky.